guys, welcome to another week of Segway Magic. This week we're talking about something that we used to love that hasn't really stood the test of time. Now, in discussing this topic, I feel like I need to emphasize that in almost every case, it's not the thing itself that hasn't stood the test of time. It's my relationship with the thing that hasn't stood the test of time. There are still audiences for all of these things. There are still people that love them to death. I'm just not one of those people anymore. Okay, so before I start my proper list, I feel like I need to mention two shows that haven't stood the test of time because they should have been cancelled at least 5 years ago. And those two shows are Grey's Anatomy and Supernatural. I feel like once you've had an episode titled Jump the Shark, which I think happened in Supernatural Season 5, and you're now rapidly heading towards the premiere of Season 11, you need to admit that you've gone above and beyond and you've actually gone full-on Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and you have nuked the fridge. You've not just jumped the shark, you've nuked the fridge. Okay, on to my proper list. The first one I want to talk about is the Redwall series by Brian Jacques. I loved the absolute shit out of these books when I was about 10 or 11. I have them all, I read the words off the page. They're all pretty chunky considering I was 10, but you know, I'm a weird giant nerd reading person thing, and so this was not really a challenge for me. I actually reread one of these books a few years ago and I was like, what in the actual fuck is this shit? Because it makes precisely no sense as an adult. Essentially, this is a series of books based around Redwall Abbey, which is populated by mice, squirrels, otters, badgers, and sparrows. Oh, and hedgehogs. And possibly rabbits. All kinds of small, furry woodland creatures, anyway. And they have battles against, like, you know, rats and weasels and ferrets and stoats and wildcats and stuff like that. It's all very English, and, you know, as a child, it's absolutely amazing, and the world that he's created is really visual. He actually wrote the books for children who are visually impaired, so that, you know, in their heads they could see this wonderful world coming to life. That's great. As an adult, you're like, what the fuck? How big would this building have to be that it can not only hold a huge population of mice, but it can hold a huge population of badgers? And how are the badgers and the mice, like, sitting at the same table and having a conversation? Because the mice are like this big and the badgers are like this big. It doesn't make any sense. The next thing I want to talk about is the Stephanie Plum books by Janet Ivanovic. I loved the crap out of these books in undergrad and like my early 20s. Read the words off the page, bought them all, read them over and over and over and over again. I would basically read Janet Ivanovic's shopping list. And then you realise that Steph says in the first book that she's 30, and you're like, hang on, we're up to like book 22 or something now? How is she still trying to decide between Ranger and Morelli? Surely, by now, she should know. So I just can't really deal with these books anymore because stupid. Okay, this next one is going to be controversial, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know, it's just, I can't look at this show the same way having blogged about it, and that like physically causes me pain. But I can't deal with Joss Whedon anymore. There's still a lot about Buffy that I really love as a show. It broke so many boundaries, it created so many fabulous characters, it did so many amazing things for network television in the 90s. But I can't anymore. I really can't. And last but not least, we have one that might surprise a few people, and that is Top Gear. I loved the absolute shit out of Top Gear until about 2008. My dad and my little brother and I would sit down every week and watch it and laugh hysterically. I don't drive, I don't give a shit about cars, but I loved the crap out of Top Gear. But there comes a point when you can't overlook Jeremy Clarkson's douchebaggery any longer. That point, it seems, has finally come for the BBC. But for me, that point came in like, you know, 2008 or 9, where I was suddenly like, you know what? This dude isn't funny, he's just a dick. So those for me are the things that haven't really stood the test of time and I don't love them the way that I used to. Don't forget to make your own video on the topic and post it on Saturday. Use the hashtag SegwayMagic on Twitter and Tumblr, and we will put all your videos into a roundup post. I'll see you guys later. Bye.